G'day, Tragic here, and welcome back to, well, not welcome back, this is the first one. Welcome to the first episode of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game. Now, I'm super excited to play this game. Now, there's a couple of things we need to get out of the way first before we actually get into this proper. I didn't want to do this in the introduction video because most people don't watch them. But basically, for solo games, or for games, beg your pardon, there's a difficulty table. And we're going to be doing the hard difficulty. And the reason I'm picking hard is that I'm a little worried that the neutral unit combat is going to be pretty trivial. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of chance of losing. I think it's more like attrition, you know, designed more just to stop you from expanding too quickly and stuff like that. So I'm going to up the difficulty level a little bit there. Now, there is a starting bonus that comes on the difficulty level you choose. Now, we've chosen hard, so we have a single roll of the resource dice, or we get to draw a minor artifact. Now, see how that says one minor artifact? That means you get to draw one card. Most draws in this game, you draw multiple cards and then discard one. Like, for example, you can see over on the easy level, it says 2 and then the artifact symbol. That means you can have 2 artifacts drawn, and the other one below it says search 2. Artifact. That's how normally things work. You draw 2, pick 1. But in this particular case, we just get to draw a artifact. Now, like a number of games that I play on this channel, I'm actually playing the competitive rule set, but I'm playing it multi-handed. And that's because I play competitive games mainly with my game group and I want to learn the competitive rules. But there is a complete co-op version of this game, which obviously can be played solo. There's a team version of this game where you can play in teams versus each other. And there's a complete solo variant of this game run by AI cards to run the enemy decks. That is a campaign mode, like the computer game that has story and everything. I might play one of those campaign modes later on, but just letting you know that even though I'm playing this multi-handed PvP, there is actually proper solo modes and co-op modes for this game. But one of the things this game does is it has quite a few rules to handle downtime by allowing you to take actions in other people's turns. Now, unless there's a reason strategically for me to do that, just to keep everything clearer in my head, I'm going to just do the turns in turn order. Same way as in Arkham Horror, upkeep and, you know, changing your stats and everything all happens in this sort of global round before the individual turns, and I just do it one at a time. So we're just going to keep going that way. But yeah, so main thing here is hard, and we also get a minor artifact, or we get to roll a 1 resource die. Also, in addition, when we started the campaign, the part of the setup rules is that we all got a mage tower. Now, if you look at the mage tower rules, it has a build action. When built, search 2 spells, and then you can later on buy spells for 5 gold, right? Even though we were gifted the Mage Tower for free, we still get to do that search 2. So I'll be doing that additionally in the beginning of the turns for these characters. And finally, for the setup, I just want you to note these sort of yellow lines. These are impassable terrain lines, so you can't move from here to here. Now, in this game, there are various abilities and spells that allow you to traverse these block terrains, but in this particular scenario, they're banned. So anytime I draw one of them, I'm just going to chuck it. And that's pretty much it. We're pretty much ready to go. So let's get into this. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm really hoping this game is good. I mean, it's got everything I like about modern board gaming. It's got the bling, it's got a great theme, it's got a kind of game I really enjoy. Please be good. Okay, let's get going. So this is Josephine. She's a Might hero. Now, if you look here, she starts with 4 cards in her hand. And of course, before the turn starts, we get to do a search 2 on the spell decks. Okay, so search 2. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, there we are. Yablamo, what do we got? Okay, so we've got haste. Ongoing. Until the end of the combat, the selected unit gains, and then depending on how you power it, it gains extra initiative. Pretty cool. So when you're looking at those spells, if you pay the knowledge power there, like the little book icon, if I pay 0, it's +1. If I pay 2, it's +3. Now all spells and other items, if you look at the or under that line, you can see that I can discard this spell to gain +1 knowledge power. Okay, Disrupting Ray. Ongoing. Until the end of combat, the selected unit cannot use their specialty ability. Interesting. I like this. And again, you can power this, but depending on how you power it, allows you to target different types of units. So if I power it twice, I can actually target gold units. Awesome. I think I'm going to take haste. So we'll put haste in its little baggie and discard the shield. Okay, so Hart is also going to pick out a character. 1, 2. Oh dear. Magic arrow. Everyone's already got a magic arrow, so that's boring. So this is basically just straight up damage spell. We all start with one of these. See those icons around the corner of the image there? They tell you what schools of magic this spell is for, and the magic arrow is in all schools. Meanwhile, the fireball is basically only a fire school, obviously. Anyway, so this is a pretty good one. It is select 2 adjacent spaces, deal damage to units in these spaces. And we can just power this up. So if we spend 4 power, it does 3 damage to 2 spaces. That's 6 damage. Pretty awesome. I think he's just going to take Magic Arrow. Magic Arrow is a more boring spell. We've already got one. But the thing is, this is a might hero. So he's not going to get a lot of, powerful spells or abilities to power spells. So I think it might be, +4 is quite a lot of power to put behind this spell. So I think Magic Arrow is more versatile for him, so I'm going to take that. Okay, sleeve that baby. Okay, now, of course, Sandra also gets to pick a spell. What are we going to get here? 1, 2. What you got for us? Resurrection. Ooh, she is a necromancer. Cancel an attack that would reduce your units to 0 health. You can cast this spell immediately after the enemy unit's attack. And then you can use the power to target different levels of units. I love this spell, and it goes well with the Necromancer. The Necromancer already has abilities that sort of make the troops more resilient and harder to kill, because they can kind of, they're already dead. So this just increases what she's already good at. And that's the kind of card that I love in games. You can basically build decks in deck builders or CCGs or whatever 2 ways. You can build the deck so you can do a lot of things well, or you can build the deck to enhance whatever you already do well and take that advantage to even higher heights. And I think that's actually a better way in most cases. What else we got? Dispel. Remove all ongoing effects from a single space or unit and the space it occupies. Okay. And again, you power it up to target different levels of units. Well, I'm definitely going to take Resurrection. That is much more my thing. So Resurrection, taking a boring magic spell. Magic Arrow, whatever the hell it's called. And Haste goes to Josephine. Now, I'm just going to sleeve these as I go. The first thing she does is going to do a town action. Now, this is actually quite interesting because we have started the round, but she hasn't started her turn. Now, in this game, you can take all these town actions any time during the round. So, it doesn't really matter in this particular case, but some crazy first round shenanigans can happen where you take your action after the round started, but before your turn started, and then you can get the on-turn effects from anything you do. So it's a little trick. It doesn't really matter in this case. What we're going to do is buy some units, and let's have a look at her units. Okay, so we've got the gremlins, and if you look in the sort of top corner, you can see that it is a ground unit. That's what the shield marks. You can see it on the griffin, has the flight thing. But if we turn this into a pack, it actually changes into a ranged unit. And if we look here at the price, it actually costs nothing to recruit the gremlins. And it only costs 2 to upgrade them. Meanwhile, the griffins cost 3 to buy and 4 to upgrade. Now you can do as many purchasing unit actions as you want in the single turn in any order. So if we spend 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we actually end up with a gremlins and a gargoyle, both packs. So we get a pack of gremlins and a pack of gargoyles, and we've also got a pack of golems. Okay, now our turn is starting. So let's draw up to, and we get a maximum of 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a particularly good hand. We've got a defense and that's it. So we start in this city, and you can, you know what? Then I'm going to take these off the board once they come onto play. They're really good for when you're playing physically with friends, but with the camera, it's hard to see behind them. So there's like a little fireplace here where you can pick up resources. So we're going to do our movement now. And I think he's just going to go bam, straight into here and fight the mine, which is a level 1 battle. Okay, now remember, because of the difficulty level, a level 1 battle has 2 bronze. Just grab that, yonk. So we got some skellies. What's that? Necromantic unit, I think. After defeating skeletons, if you control a necromantic hero, immediately reinforce 1 of your bronze units. He has an initiative of 4 and health of 3 and no defense. Gremlins. Gremlins has 2 health and no defense and 5 initiative. And he is ranged. So ranged, I'll put the ranged here and I'll put the skeleton here. Now we've got our ranged guy, so he's got to go in the back. And I'll put my golem down and I'll put my flyer down here. Now our initiative is 5, 5, and 9. And their initiative is 4 and 5. Now on draws, attacker gets initiative. So our entire team can move before their team gets to move. Very good for us. Starting with the griffin, starting with the gargoyle, he's going to go 1, 2, actually I'm going to start him here. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he doesn't activate this guy's attack because he is flying. And then he gets to attack. Okay, roly-poly, +1. Excellent. So he's attacking for 4. The gremlins has no defense and only 2 health, so that gremlin is dead. And now it is the Iron Golem's turn. He's just going to go 1, and he's also attacking with 3. -1, so he's attacking with 2, no defense. Now I should just put, he is attacked. So he is attacked. That means he gets 2 damage. Now he gets to retaliate. So he rolls a 2 attack. He gets a -1, so it's 1 damage. We have 2 defense, that's no damage. The reason why the gremlins didn't get to retaliate, because they were killed outright in the opening attack. We have our ranged attack. Now this enemy is not in the back line. So even though we're in the back line, we do not get a range penalty. So we're just going to roll. We have an attack of 2. We get 0. So that's 2 attack. He has no defense. That kills him. And the effect does not trigger because we are not a nasty old necromancer. Okay, so that's a win. Now, as we won that combat, we actually level up, which seems like it's very easy to level up, right? The book says you level up, right, when you win against neutral units, okay? I thought that maybe meant you just rolled this yellow die, but you don't. So that seems really, really easy to level up. So that's one move. For the next move, she's going to move in here. This is also a level 1, and there is a chest there. Boom, it's the cart. Okay, so that's centaurs and elves. The elves is a ranged unit. It's got initiative 6. Oh, and the centaurs has got initiative 7. Ooh, this is a bit harder. During melee combat, if a target is a non-adjacent unit on a -1 or 0 result, attack this target again. That doesn't make a lot of sense. There must just be during attack action, not melee combat, that little axe. So if I attack a non-adjacent unit and I roll a -1 or a 0, I get a second attack. Wow, that is harsh. Level 6. Okay, so I'll put him in the corner here and I'll put him here. Put out our guys again. We'll put him here. I'll put him here, and I'll put him here, and I'll put him here. Okay, now our initiative, this guy is actually initiative 9, so he goes first. So he's going to go 1 over him, 2, 3, that's the 3 moves, and then attack. Come on, high. Oh, 0. So he has a 3 attack, he has 1 defense and 3 health. He gets 2 damage again. And now this guy is going to get to retaliate. This is an adjacent unit, so it doesn't matter. He gets 0. So that's 2 attack and 1 damage. The next one, he's going to go 1, 2 here and attack the gremlins. And I think I'm going to use my defense power on that gremlin. So that gremlin's got +1 armor. Right, and he is attacking for 2. We're defending at 1 with 2 health. He gets a -1, so he's attacking at 1. We're defending at 1, so that's no damage. Awesome. Okay, so he gets to attack back with his retaliation. He rolls for 2. 0. 2 attack, no defense. That is 2 damage. Now it's my golem's turn. So he's going to attack with 3 attack. Blammo, we get a 0. So he's attacking for 3, defending at 0. That's 3 damage. That kills him. So he does not get a retaliation. So that is a single round of combat. Everyone's had a turn. Now the way this game works is, if you want to do another round, you have to spend a movement point. Now we do have a spare movement point, so let's spend that. Clear all these. And once again, this guy is level 6. This guy's level 9, so he gets to go first. So he's going to roll. We have no way of pumping our attacks. He's rolling for 3. Gets +1, that's 4 attack. He has 1 damage, that's 3 damage. That kills this guy. He does not get to retaliate. And that, my friends, is the end of that. I'll just put that there for the discard pile. So that is another level up. And we now have 1 crown. Now they didn't give us any crown tokens in this game, which is a bit of a bummer. So I'm going to use red cubes as crowns. And all our guys are still alive and still packs, which is awesome. Now we've actually spent our 2 movement points, but remember, we also spent our 3rd movement point, which is our last one, during that combat. So, this guy is now here, but we also get to roll for that chest, which is this yellow die. And we get an artifact. Now this is search 2. Even though it doesn't have the 2 symbol, it is search 2. Bam. Lots of artifacts in this game. What we got here? Tunic of the Cyclops King. Draw 1 card and gain 1 spell power, or gain 2 spell powers. Excellent. That's very cool. Not so much for a might hero though. Here we are, golden bow. This looks better. Ongoing. During the combat, your ranged units ignore combat penalties, or a ranged unit of your choice gains 2 attack power. Both of them are good. I'm taking the golden bow. Now, when you gain cards, they go straight into your hand. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the hard bonus, which is to roll that dice. Let me just quickly roll that dice. 6 gold. Now it's Lord Hart's ability. He's going to take a artifact instead of rolling a resource die, and we just get to draw. We don't do a search this time. I'm not quite sure what minor artifacts are versus normal artifacts, so I guess I'll find out eventually. Orb of Inhibition. Ongoing. During this combat, all magic and specialty cards deal 0 damage. Remove this card instead of discarding it. So this is removed from the game, that means. Or, during this combat round, units cannot use their special abilities, and that's just a normal discard ability. Yeah, that's probably good for PvP. Okay, so that goes in his hand, and now we're going to shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Damn, I left a card on the table. Let's try that again. Oop. Why am I knocking this over? I knocked over the camera. That's why there was a weird cut there. Okay. Let's do another shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4. What have you got? Double magic arrow, a combat, and a states. Awesome. Now, I feel like doing something slightly different here and just opening up this one straight away and just getting out into the other parts of the things. And then we can actually have our secondary hero, which he'll be able to buy pretty quickly because he's got the estates abilities. So yeah, let's get rid of that. He's going to spend 1 movement point. He's going to spend another movement point to flip this over. Now, when you flip this, you can rotate it to any, side you want. Let's have a quick look at this tile. Okay, level 4 neutral attack. We can't really deal with that, can we? But there is a gain morale and horsey token. I guess that's another movement point. So let's do that. I'm going to put this like that. I'd really like to put that wall there. What does that thing do? This is a little sheet I printed out from Board Game Geek that's got all the locations on it. Came out a bit dark, so if you're going to print this out, I've laminated it in a matte laminate, but if you print this out, lighten it. I mean like lighten it a lot. Same thing happened with printing out the difficulty sheet here. It's just way dark. So this is the Sanctuary. Revisitable. Heroes on this field cannot be attacked by other heroes. Friendly heroes can move through the enemy heroes on this field but cannot stop here. I feel like it's a waste of a turn, but at the same time, I like the idea of blocking that exit. So he is going to do that. So that's one move to flip it, and then one move to move into the Sanctuary. And that is his whole turn done. Now note, I have not used his action, so he can still do that at any time during the opponent's turn. So we'll just see what the opponent does, and then we'll do a town action or possibly whatever. Okay, now it's the Necromancer's turn. I've got a thing for Necromancers, and Sandra is very, very similar to my very first girlfriend, Sandra. So I've got a bit of an affinity for old Sandra here. So she's going to roll the resource die and hope that she gets a gem. There is a 1 in 6 chance of getting a gem. Oh! Thank you, Rochelle. Go the dark powers. Hail Satan. Right. So we get a gem. Now, technically, where are the gems? Here we are. Now, technically, gems are, this roll is during setup, so her turn has not started yet. Oh my God, I've made a huge error. Citadel's ability is unlocked reinforcing units. So you can't actually reinforce units unless, unless you build a Citadel. And the Citadel costs 1 gem and 5 resources. My God, I completely screwed up that first turn. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep going. Stupid. Oh God, that is bullshit. I'm an idiot. Okay, whatever. Well, she's gonna do that. So let's, we need 5 resources. We've only got 4. She's gonna build a city hall. That costs, let me just get that again. That costs 10 gold, 4 resources and no gems. 10 gold and 4 resources. So the City Hall ability means that she gains an extra 4 income, or we can reinforce an enemy for free. Now, does that mean we can reinforce without... I'll check that on the forums, but that might mean we can reinforce even if we don't have... I think we still need to build the City Hall to reinforce, but I'll check that out. We still have 2 gold, so we're going to build a skeleton. She's going to go here and do a combat for that chest. Yes, that's what she's going to do. And then she's going to move here and then here if we don't do a second round of combat. I was wondering why the combat was so easy. It is 2 bronze units. Oh, the dragonflies. I love them in the book. Oh, game, I should say. Okay, so they're a flying 3 attack. They have a retaliation. Attacks against dragonflies suffer a -1. And troglodytes, that is an awesome bit of graphic. Looks like a nasty Morlock from Warcraft. Okay, so he's pretty easy. He's a 1/3. This unit ignores paralytic effects. So there's a game state, there's a monster state called Paralyze. This guy ignores it. And he is a ground unit. So, the combat seems a lot harder now. Now I do get to shuffle my cards and pick 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, all spells. Now you can only do 1 spell per combat round. Okay, so this guy has 3 damage and this guy has 3 damage and 1 defense. Okay, for my activation, I'm going to cast Magic Arrow and I'm going to start Knowledge for +1 power, the other Magic Arrow for +1 power, and that gives me +2 power, which in turn gives 3 damage. So bam. This guy has 3 health, so he is dead. Oh wait, what is the initiative? 8 initiative. 7. Oh, he actually goes first. I'm still going to do that. Well, I might not actually now. This guy's going to come down here, 1, and attack the skeleton. Gets a 0. He's attacking for 3. The skeleton has 3 health, including his shield, so he is killed. Now this guy's a 7 initiative, so he goes first. We're going to do the same thing we just did last time. The 3 spells, kill this guy. And then he's going to come down here and do an attack. So I'm just going to leave this on the board so I know that I've cast a spell this round. Okay, come on. 0. He's attacking for 3. He is defending at 1, so he gets 2 wounds. He now gets to retaliate. He gets a -1, so he's attacking for 1. This guy has no armor, so he gets 1 wound. I'm going to spend my other movement and do another roll. Basically, I need 1 damage to win this. Blammo gets 0, that's no good. He's attacking for 3 though, which means he hits for 2 and he's only got 3 health, so this guy's killed. We have our discard pile. So we've got 1 card in hand. We have our discard pile. We've still got our Wraith. Our skeleton though is dead. For later recruitment, we get 1 experience and we get to roll the chest die. And we get an artifact. Okay, so that's 2. Shield of the Yawning Dead. Okay, well, we're going to have to take this regardless because she's a necromancer. Discard 1 card to gain 2 armor or gain 1 armor without discarding. I love this card because Arc guys have 0 defense because they're basically dead. And Shield of the Damned, another good card. Target units gets +3 armor and suffers 1 damage. It cannot be used on an enemy unit. Or the target unit gets +5 armor and suffers 2 damage. Interesting. I actually like Shield of the Damned because we can put 5 armor on our Wraith, and then the Wraith has an ability that says remove up to 1 damage from this unit, then discard 1 random card from the enemy's hand. I think that costs a movement point actually. That's pretty expensive, isn't it? No, I'm going to take Yawning Dead. No, I'm going to take Shield of the Damned. I'm taking Shield. I'm taking the Shield, baby. Interesting how I got 2 shields. That one gets discarded, and that goes into my hand. Now, just before the end of this guy's turn, he's going to take his town action as well. And I think he's going to do the same thing. So now he knows he's not getting attacked this round. He's just going to do his actions. Blammo. Not that one, actually. He's going to do the build action. And he's going to build the Brotherhood of Swords. Now, the Brotherhood of Swords says, at the beginning of each resource round, gain a morale. That is awesome. And that costs 8 resources, 8 gold. And 4 rock, or whatever it's called. Where is that? In the corner. Okay. Oh wait, I could have built the blacksmith. What does the blacksmith give us? I'll deal with that later. Whatever, that's what he's doing for his last turn. So how am I going to fix this screw up? Remember, I upgraded these units when I can't do that until I build a citadel. I'm going to take these away. Make them a pack of fuse, turn them from packs to fuse. I'm going to take off 1 of her level ups, and I'm not going to give her any of her spent money back. So that's going to be how I'm going to fix that. I'm just going to move along. We did not use our second movement token because we killed him outright during the retaliation, didn't we? No, we didn't. We spent our token, didn't we? So we moved here, got the chest, and then we moved here where we get to roll a die. And we get 2 gems. Wow, I didn't know there was a double gem. So that's 3 gems, take 1 away. That, my friends, is round 1 of Hero and Might and Magic 3. Terrible screw up with the upgrading of the units, but come on. What do you expect? If you expect more, you're new to this channel. I will see you guys next time.